From Keene in the Shire, the Liberty Media capital of the world, this is Daryl W. Perry, host of FPP Radio News for Wednesday, July 29th, 2015. Silver is trading at $14.67 per ounce. Gold is valued at $1,095 per ounce. And according to BitcoinAverage.com, the average price of Bitcoin is $292. Antiwar.com reports over the weekend, Taliban forces overran a major police base in Badakhshan in northeastern Afghanistan, routing the force and capturing some 110 police, who they later disarmed and released. This was a huge defeat, but just one of the many as the Taliban racks up victories across the nation's north. The latest offensives have the Taliban capturing a major district in the Sar-e-Pul province, once again forcing the police to surrender and chasing a garrison of 200 soldiers into the neighboring province. The Taliban also made new advances into Kunduz province, the main target of their spring offensive, forcing several government-allied militias into retreat. Afghan Defense Ministry officials downplayed the losses, saying a few districts here and there were not something to panic about, and that they'd eventually retake them. The defenders who lost those districts, however, complained they were not supported by the central government with reinforcements to hold them in the first place. The Afghan military has struggled with recruitment for years, as a combination of attrition and mass desertion has kept their ranks teeming with new, poorly trained recruits, and while officials continue to downplay the defeats, the routes suggest they simply aren't able to effectively support defenders in much of the country and are relying on random militia allies to carry the battles, with larger Taliban forces that's losing them territory. You can support FPP Radio by joining the Fans program. Fans help FPP afford to produce more original content. You can join the Fans program for as little as $3 per month or any amount of Bitcoin per month, thanks to the recurring payment options provided by Coinbase. To learn more or to join the Fans program, visit fans.fppradio.com. UPI reports Curtis Fairchild Jones, who at age 12 was considered the youngest convicted murderer in United States history, walked out of prison yesterday a free man at the age of 29. Jones and his 13-year-old sister Catherine admitted in 1999 to killing their father's girlfriend, Sonia Nicole Spites, with their father's handgun amid claims that they were sexually abused by a male relative living with them. They claimed neither their father nor Spites would help them, so they plotted to kill all three. The claims were never substantiated. Prosecutors said the children were jealous of Spites. At the time, they were the youngest children in U.S. history to be charged as adults for first-degree murder. Instead of spending life in prison, they pled guilty to second-degree murder, were sentenced to 18 years in prison and probation for the rest of their life. Tuesday morning, Jones left the prison an ordained minister with very little knowledge of the outside world. His sister Catherine is set to be released on August 1st. Experts say it's likely to be a difficult transition for the siblings, especially Curtis, who will not have the support of a spouse. Florida has a 3-phase program to assist assimilation that includes help with basic life skills, from using a cell phone to managing money. For over 35 years, Roberts & Roberts has been a trusted source for buying and selling your investment-grade precious metals. They also take Bitcoin for precious metal purchases and permanently removed the minimum purchase order for all orders paid in the digital currency. Call Roberts & Roberts today for knowledgeable advice on investing and a forward-thinking approach to new technologies. 850-478-5270 or online at rrbi.co. Reuters reports the California lawmaker who made it harder for parents to opt out of vaccinating their children, a stance that earned him death threats, is now launching a campaign to save his job days after the state certified a recall effort against him. Democratic State Senator Richard Pan, a Sacramento pediatrician who introduced a measure eliminating California's personal belief exemption to vaccine requirements for school children in response to a measles outbreak at Disneyland, plans to go public on Wednesday with a website and social media campaign aimed at fighting off the recall drive. Under the new law, which goes into effect next year, only children with medical reasons to avoid vaccination may attend school without them. Unvaccinated children would have to be homeschooled or study in small private homeschool groups. The measure generated vociferous opposition from some parents, many of whom fear a link between childhood vaccinations and autism, and others who feared intrusion on their freedom of religion. This has been FPP Radio News, online at fppradio.com.